All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. Got some recent trade rumors, if you will. I guess that's what we're basically gonna call this. So some big name receivers, obviously. I was about to say Debo, Brandon Aiyuk, and T Higgins. Some new revelations that came out this morning, this afternoon. So Christian, you want to start with Brandon?
Yeah, so obviously Brandon Aiyuk, obviously, the offseason drama between these players, obviously on following the team, this and that, whether there's trade rumors. And Aiyuk was unfortunately part of it. Obviously, Aiyuk, he was a big essential part to that Niners receiving core. Obviously, a lot of people obviously say Debo's the number one option, but how lackluster Debo was last year, Aiyuk was the one guy to really step up here. And I mean, everyone's really ignoring the fact here. He was just shy of 1,400 yards receiving with less than 80 yards receptions. He was at 75 receptions with that amount of yards. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a receiver. I mean, what I think he was the two, but realistically now he is the
Well, I
one
mean, that's
option.
the thing. Like, we kind of got used to Debo, being that one spot. But I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, realistically,
I
like you
even.
said it, Debo was pretty lackluster in this season, and Ayuk basically just came in and took that one spot from him. And I mean, what was it? Early this morning, we got some reports saying that he was officially requesting a trade. We, like you said, we got all this. I mean, I don't know how much we can really put into this. Oh, he unfollowed the Niners. He unfollowed some of his teammates, but regardless, reports came out that he requested a trade. About an hour later, his agent comes out and says that that's just a false narrative. He's not requesting a trade. So, I mean, we'll see where this comes up. And we've seen his cryptic Instagram posts and all this stuff. Not a lot of substance that we can really give just yet, but regardless, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of disgruntled attitude from Ayuk ever since the Super Bowl when he wasn't really getting those targets, which probably a big reason why the Niners weren't able to win that game.
Yeah, honestly, the with excuse me, with Brandon now obviously getting involved in the pass game, that's kind of like you said, probably one of the
What did
bigger
he get, like
reasons that
three, four targets?
we did discuss this too
Yeah,
in that
I
video.
mean,
I
this
think it was
this
less
was
than
like
five targets.
a
Yeah.
big concern for us. Why he wasn't that involved.
Yeah, so I mean, I would honestly, I would understand his frustration. This is honestly, it's justified why he's doing this, and I would expect that you to get it back. He is a $30 million receiver. Let's get that out the way here, especially with the whole reset market with Calvin Ridley. And honestly, I would trust him to be my number one. I mean, look, he's one of the underrated route runners in the league. I mean, not that long, a couple days ago, I was just watching videos of Aiyuk's route running. It's pretty filthy, man. His route running is it's very underrated, and he's definitely worth that receiver one money. Let's just see what the Niners got in store for the back here. And now,
No,
obviously,
I
moving
mean,
on.
before we really move on more, I mean, like, you say, the caliber he is, and with him expected possibly on the trade market, we see, he's getting a lot of. I mean, he was getting pretty good interest. We see the Jaguars were probably one of the strongest. There were a lot of rumors even before any actual trade rumors. They had some interest to go in for him, but obviously they were turned away. The Niners were asking for that number 17 pick. That's
Yeah.
pretty hefty for them, and they were also asking for Zay Jones. So I mean, that's a I don't know. You could think that maybe that's not too steep for a receiver of Ayuk's cover, but the main reason the Jaguars weren't all that interested was the fact that they're probably gonna have to pay him anyway. So you take that for what you will, but before instead of cutting you off there, we're moving on to T Higgins, and this is another one that in the Bengals situation, there's a lot going on here with the receivers in Cincinnati. Obviously, Tyler Boyd already a free agent. He's expected to be gone. The big elephant in the room in Jamar Chase. He's expected to get a massive contract pretty soon. So where does that leave T Higgins? And we saw, he was franchise tagged. He requested a trade in, I believe, March 11th, something
Yeah, that was
like
last
that.
month.
So
Mhm.
at this point, it was pretty expected that he was going to get moved. We saw the Jets had a lot of interest in probably making a move. They didn't get to do nothing with Keenan Allen. Now he was probably their next target, and it looks like he's staying. We got some reports that the Bengals internally are pretty much saying he's not going anywhere. So I mean, Christian, what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, honestly, look, as of honestly, I love T Higgins, but let's be real, no team's gonna pick up that much of a massive contract here. I know how last month, I
I
just
mean,
said
look,
like a
that's what
little,
we're saying with Calvin Ridley's situation.
yeah. But I mean, the thing, the whole reset market, I would have expected T Higgins to, I wouldn't say for sure, but one of the main destinations for Brian, in my opinion, probably would have been the Patriots, since they're in dire need of a receiver there. It could have been a good spot for whatever quarterback there's in the draft. That's going to be a really big step up for that receiving core. That was just an opinion thrown out there, not too bad. Or maybe even the Panthers, they are really looking at a receiver as well here, but obviously that's all getting pretty much in the trash now, since the Bengals are going to probably try and keep him here. But like you said, Jamar Chase is the main guy they really want to pay here. I mean, Jamar Chase already proved to be one of the top receivers in the league, already in the news with Jamar. I'm excuse me, not Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson, Amar St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. With those big names up there, he's earned the spot to be in that conversation. But obviously, with the Bengals situation here, they're gonna have to pay Jamar Chase, and I don't know what they're gonna do with T Higgins unless they probably franchise tag him, which is probably the best bait I think this morning.
I mean, yeah, he's on the franchise tag.
Yeah, they're on the
for
franchise
this season,
tag
which
yeah,
I mean, they don't have to do nothing in this offseason. That's the thing here, but he's not gonna want to play on that franchise tag. That's what ends up happening with a lot of these receivers. So I mean, do you maybe get a haul for him right now? That would obviously be the smartest thing for the Bengals to do, or do you just let him walk? Would be a free agent next offseason?
I mean, with the haul, I mean, what can you really get? I mean, what could you get out of T Higgins though? Like a third?
No, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, it is true. But honestly, if no contract comes into play here, he's just gonna have to ride out with the franchise tag for the season. Hopefully, he's not a diva about it. I know a lot of Bengals fans really hope that and see if he's gonna be worth the money this season, and then hopefully get into future talks like all the other players that come into the league here. But like I said before, backtracking here for the Bengals, Jamar Chase is for sure the main priority here, other than T Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt there, and I mean, like you said, there's a lot of talks what could be. I mean, a lot of implications in the upcoming draft with where T Higgins could possibly going. There's, I mean, a lot of teams could possibly want to post up.
Maybe he could be traded for picks. Who knows? I mean,
that too, and that's probably the more reasonable thing. I mean, we're looking at. I mean, you mentioned the Patriots. Some may think that's a little lofty, but in all reality, to me, that's one of the more realistic spots for him to land. I mean, you would think. I mean, a guy like Jaden Daniels or Drake May that ends up getting a pretty established receiver in him. I think that would be a great spot to lead them into hopefully a better start for the new England Patriots. But obviously, that's kind of gonna wrap us up here. Got a little more different types of draft content that's gonna be coming out soon. Obviously, we know that the NFL draft is fast approaching. We'll get I don't know, Christian, do we say we're probably gonna try to obviously we're gonna get one more mock draft in there, and maybe
honestly we'll try instead of saying it, because we always wait last minute for this stuff, so we'll obviously get really heavy into that with the final mock draft.
And it's draft season. We're probably gonna get a little something apart from the draft season. There's not much news really going on apart from all these rumors. Apart from all that, but that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys back soon.